Generally, when we do this work, it's weeks or months after the disinformation has been posted. Our goal is to handle these issues within hours and perhaps on election day within minutes. The Election Integrity Partnership is a group of 4 research institutions. The EIP is explicitly nonpartisan. We are only working on election-related disinformation. So we're not looking at general political disinformation, one candidate saying something nasty about the other candidate. We're specifically looking for disinformation that might confuse people how to vote, discourage them from voting, or that call into question the outcome of the voting without evidence.
We're trying to get to the source of the information before it really goes viral. We have 120 people working on this project. Out of them, 30 are Stanford students, and they do the initial archiving and analysis of any incoming ticket. Our incidents come from either external tips that we get or internal surfacing of mis and disinformation.
One tactic that I use is to search voting-related terms and the latest natural disaster or latest topic of conversation. We'll also see how far it's reached on each platform, what sort of engagement it's getting, who's spreading it.
We'll report it directly to the platforms, and we'll ask them to consider either labeling the content with either voter resource guides or misleading content labels, or to remove the content because it violates the platform policies.
So far, we've handled several hundred different reports of election disinformation. One of the best examples of this was actually here in California, in Sonoma, where somebody took a picture of a dumpster that was full of ballots. What they didn't say with that picture, that those ballots were actually from the 2018 election, and that the ballots in California, mail-in ballots, are supposed to be held by the election officials for 22 months and then discarded.
Something that's really important to the EIP is to elevate the voices of the election officials or the civil society organizations that are closest to the communities which might be affected.
The officials in Sonoma very quickly came out, explained the situation, put out the facts, and then we looked on all these different platforms and we found hundreds of examples of this specific photo being used in a misleading way, trying to create this narrative. We were able to report those platforms.
The biggest solution, I think, is spreading awareness and just being an engaged citizen.
There are days when it feels like whack-a-mole, and I have to remind myself the goal is not to make it a perfect system, but the goal is to try our best to get as much informed material out there as possible.